Federal officials are leading the investigation into the tragedy over the Potomac, the crash between a commercial airplane and a military helicopter.
Right now, we are joined by Congressman Tim Kennedy to talk about what happened that night and the administration's response. Congressman, thank you so much for coming in this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
So first, let's just get your reaction to the tragedy. When the news came in from Washington, what went through your mind?
Well, we're all heartbroken. It's a devastating loss of life, a national tragedy. 67 souls that are lost in our nation's capital at Reagan Airport, the airport I fly into when I'm going to and from Washington, D.C., and so many others do. And, you know, this is very personal for all of us, not just because of it being in the nation's capital, but because it's a stark reminder that 16 years ago, almost to the day, we had a very similar tragedy right here with the loss of life in 3407. And it's been 16 years of aviation safety because of the families of the victims of Flight 3407 that really stood up and fought for aviation safety standards that have made flying in this country safer than ever before. And we know we have more work to do. And this horrific tragedy was a reminder of that. So our hearts go out to the victims and their families. Certainly, we're all mourning with them. And we were keeping them all in prayer.
You had mentioned you and so many others flying in and out of Reagan. That is what you do. That's how you get from here to there. It's as regular as the routes that both that plane were flying and at some point that helicopter was flying. Something needs to change about those routes already. The FAA has banned helicopter routes in and around that area for starters. Knowing that you fly in and out of there, Tim, on a weekly basis, if not, what else do you think needs to change, and does it give you pause, knowing that that happened there?
Well, look, again, it's the nation's capital. There is all sorts of aircraft, from military aircraft to commercial aircraft to private aircraft, throughout each and every day. And certainly there needs to be work done to prevent this sort of tragedy from ever happening again. We are going to expect the FAA and the NTSB to do their due diligence once again, as they do in these terrible tragedies, get as much information as possible, and we will base whatever solutions we come up with as a Congress and as a nation on the very factual information that they get from their analysis of this horrific tragedy. And they're still recovering the victims from the Potomac. You know, the process of recovering the black boxes has happened, and they've gotten those black boxes. The analysis of the video and of the incident is going to happen, and they're going to put a full report together and present it very publicly. And we will, again, use the loss of life as a driving force to make positive legislation that keeps our airlines safe into the future, as they did following the tragedy of Flight 3407 here in Western New York.
You had mentioned that you recently actually went to the air traffic control tower here at the Buffalo Airport. What did you take away from that? What did you hear from those workers?
Well, those workers are extraordinary, and each and every day they are getting us in and out of the airports, not just here at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport, but throughout the nation. We know that we have to give them the resources in order to do their job. They need to be staffed appropriately. They need to be funded appropriately. And that's the obligation that we have as Congress, to do just that, to prevent this sort of tragedy from ever happening again. We have to take a look, a serious look, and make funding and the staffing levels for the air traffic controllers a part of the analysis of this tragedy.
Yesterday, Donald Trump made some comments that shocked folks on both sides of the political aisle here, in saying and offering, without a shred of evidence, that this crash was somehow related to diversity, equity, and inclusion actions or policies or procedures in the prior administration. You sent out a release last night, Tim, reacting to that. You've reacted to that since. Give you some time now to react to those comments the president made yesterday.
Yeah, what the president did is he discredited disgraced his office as President of the United States. He used a national tragedy to politicize the moment rather than unifying this country in prayer and in mourning. And he desecrated the souls that were lost, those 67 lives that were lost in the Potomac in this horrific tragedy. And it's unbecoming of the President of the United States. And I was absolutely appalled and heartbroken, quite frankly, for the people of this country and the families that are grieving right now their loss of loved ones, the 67 souls that were lost. It was absolutely heartless. It was disrespectful. And again, it desecrated those that were lost and are still being recovered from this tragedy from the Potomac.
All right, Congressman Tim Kennedy, thank you so much for taking the time this afternoon to join us.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.